Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving deep into the enchanting world of African folklore, a universe teeming with wisdom, humor, and some of the most memorable characters you'll ever meet. Specifically, we're going to explore the incredible traditions of talking animals and the clever, often mischievous trickster figures that populate these tales. Have you ever wondered why so many traditional stories feature animals that speak and act like humans? In many African cultures, the natural world and the human world are not seen as separate. Animals are respected as intelligent beings, embodying specific traits and spirits. They become perfect vehicles for storytelling, allowing communities to discuss complex human behaviors, social rules, and moral dilemmas without pointing fingers directly. When a lion speaks of power and responsibility, or a tortoise demonstrates the virtue of patience, the lesson becomes universal and timeless. These aren't just simple fables for children. They are sophisticated narratives that carry the weight of generations of wisdom. They teach us about community, respect for elders, the importance of honesty, and the consequences of greed and arrogance. The animal characters make these heavy topics accessible, engaging, and incredibly entertaining. Now, let's talk about my favorite character archetype, the trickster. Every region has its own famous trickster. In West Africa, you have Anansi the spider. In East and Southern Africa, you often hear tales of hare. And let's not forget tortoise, who appears in stories all across the continent. What makes these tricksters so compelling? Well, they are the ultimate underdogs. Anansi, hare, and tortoise are physically small and weak compared to the mighty lions, elephants, and leopards they constantly outsmart. They survive not with brute force, but with their razor-sharp intellect, cunning wit, and an uncanny ability to talk their way out of any situation. Take Anansi, for example. He is a master strategist. In one famous story, he's tasked by the sky god Nyame to capture 4 of the most dangerous creatures in the world in exchange for all the stories of the world. An impossible task, right? But Anansi uses his brain. He tricks a python into measuring itself against a stick, getting trapped. He fools a leopard into a pitfall trap. He tricks hornets into a gourd and captures a fairy by using a sticky doll. Through sheer cleverness, he accomplishes the impossible and brings the gift of stories to humanity. These trickster tales are more than just funny stories about a small guy winning. They are powerful allegories for survival. For centuries, many communities faced immense challenges, from harsh environments to oppressive forces. The trickster figure became a symbol of hope. It showed that even the smallest and most powerless individual could overcome overwhelming odds using their mind and spirit. The trickster represents the triumph of intelligence over brute strength, a message that resonates deeply with the human experience. But here's the interesting twist. Tricksters are not always heroes. They are complex characters. They can be lazy, greedy, and vain. Their schemes often backfire, leading to hilarious and embarrassing consequences. This is another crucial part of their role. When Anansi's greed gets the better of him and he ends up with a bald head or stuck in a silly situation, the story serves as a cautionary tale. It teaches about the dangers of excessive pride and selfishness, reminding everyone in the community to maintain a sense of humility and balance. The trickster holds up a mirror to our own imperfections. Another fascinating aspect is how these stories were traditionally told. It wasn't just someone reading from a book. Storytelling was a performance. A skilled narrator or griot would bring these characters to life using different voices, songs, and call and response with the audience. The community would gather around a fire under the stars, participating in the story, shouting responses and learning together. It was a communal experience that strengthened bonds and passed cultural values from one generation to the next. Even today, the legacy of these talking animals and tricksters is everywhere. You can see their influence in modern African literature, in films, and even in global pop culture. Characters like Brer Rabbit from the American South have direct roots in the tales of the African hare, carried across the ocean and adapted into a new context. These stories are a testament to the resilience and creativity of the human spirit. They are a vibrant, living tradition. So what can we learn from Anansi, hare, and all their animal friends today? First, the power of wit and intelligence. In a world full of challenges, thinking outside the box is our greatest asset. Second, the importance of community. These stories were born from and for the community, teaching us how to live together. And finally, the ability to laugh at ourselves. The Tricksters' mishaps remind us not to take ourselves too seriously and to learn from our mistakes. These tales are a beautiful, intricate part of our shared human heritage. They remind us that stories are not just for entertainment. They are for survival, for education, and for connection. They are, as Anansi one for us, one of the greatest treasures we have. What are some of your favorite trickster tales or talking animal stories from around the world? I would love to read about them in the comments below. Let's share these incredible narratives and keep the spirit of storytelling alive. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into African folklore. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration. Until next time, stay curious,